Every day, powerful people in suits make decisions that ripple through entire economies, shake industries, and redraw the lines of opportunity. Yet behind closed doors, behind the polished speeches and media spin, there's a secret dance happening between politicians and private equity firms, a dance that most of us only see fragments of, but one that shapes the very rules of the game you're forced to play. This isn't some distant conspiracy theory. It's real power at work, wrapped in complexity, and it's fueling problems you face every day: unfair competition, twisted incentives, sluggish innovation, and a system that feels rigged no matter how hard you hustle. How can politicians secretly love private equity? Because private equity isn't just about money. It's about control, influence, and the raw ability to shape industries with a speed and force no one else can match. When politicians look at this, they see a tool that can do things government agencies never could: spin complex deals into economic growth stories, create jobs out of thin air, or better yet, push risk and blame onto someone else while their pockets stay lined with lobbyist cash. But here's the kicker. This relationship isn't good news for most people who aren't in these rarefied circles. The leaders grinding to innovate inside corporations, the investor risking real capital on ideas that matter, the manager trying to steer a ship against the tides of unpredictability. If this insider game spins out of control, it starves genuine progress because the system rewards extraction, not creation. It rewards deals, not breakthroughs. It's a playbook built to consolidate power, stash wealth, and leave the rest behind. And this hurts you, whether you realize it or not, because it makes you fight harder for scraps, blinds you with complexity, and traps you in rules that weren't made for you, but for someone else's gain. Imagine navigating a world where every move you make risks playing into someone else's hand. You see, private equity is obsessed with efficiency. It squeezes companies until there's nothing left to squeeze, but value has actually drained away. Jobs are cut, innovation slows, and the community loses. On the surface, numbers might look good, but underneath, innovation, culture, and real long-term value get crushed. Politicians love it because it looks like growth and progress when the cameras are rolling, but behind the curtain, isolation, decay, inequality. Here's the brutal truth. The system is designed to feed on itself, to burn the exceptional individuals like fuel and spit out mediocrity. It doesn't care about awakening your full potential or breaking free from the old molds. It wants you to obey, to consume, to stay boxed in. And the worst part? Most leaders and investors fall into this trap because they don't see the strings, don't understand the depth of these games, or simply believe in the lies of the status quo. The solution doesn't come from sitting back and hoping for reform. It doesn't come from waiting on politicians or bureaucracies to fix what they profit from maintaining. No, the solution comes from recognizing this whole game for what it is and choosing to transcend it by tapping into something deeper, your own radical potential to redefine the rules. You've been handed a limited view of freedom. They tell you, you're free to innovate, free to compete, free to climb the ladder. But this freedom is a mirage, a cage carved delicately to keep you contained. True freedom comes from breaking out of these cages. It's about being sovereign over your will, ruthless in demanding your own space to create and grow without the system's chokehold. It's about building connections not through conformity but through shared fire, aligning with those rare few who refuse the comfort of the status quo, those who transform instead of adapt. This is where private equity reveals its secret weakness. For all its power, it's still just a tool, one that can be pushed, pulled, even turned against the system that breeds control and decay. The secret politicians hope you never grasp is that power shifts when the exceptional few find each other and decide to act, not in silence, but in ruthless collaboration that transcends borders, labels, and outdated loyalties. Imagine a network where brilliance isn't isolated and lost, but connected. where leaders, investors, visionaries don't compete to survive but align to thrive, using private capital not to extract but to create, to invest in companies that build solutions, that respect culture, that innovate with purpose, to dismantle perverse incentives and build a new reality where value is real and lasting. It's not just a dream. It's happening right now in pockets, in movements, in rebels who refuse to take what is and instead build what could be, radically, unapologetically, and with an obsession for creating the future on their terms. They don't wait for political favors. They don't bow to outdated systems. They cut ties with legacy thinking and build autonomous networks where excellence flourishes unbound by national flags or false promises. If you're watching this and feeling the weight, the frustration of legacy systems holding you back, the hatred for the superficial growth politicians praise while your business suffocates, you're already part of the solution. The key is recognizing your role not as a victim or pawn, but as a sovereign participant ready to seize radical freedom. Freedom that demands patience because real transformation is a long game. Freedom that rejects easy answers for deep, deliberate strategies. Freedom that aligns with the few who burn like you do, not the many who settle. So what does that mean practically? It means rigorously questioning every assumption you've been taught, every rule the system insists on. It means refusing to chase validation from the center. Instead, seek knowledge and alliances at the edges, the places and people unrecognized by the status quo, but who possess the power to redefine it. It means using private equity smartly, not just as a quick fix or a way to cash out, but as a lever to promote innovation, resilience, and autonomy. Demand your deals build ecosystems, not short-term profits. Hold partners accountable for long-term health, not quarterly buzzwords. And above all, build your own infrastructure for brilliance. Create spaces where rare talents meet, ideas mix fiercely, and collective power shapes futures beyond the reach of hollow politicians and greedy rent seekers. This is how the true game changes. Not with reform from above, but with revolution from those who refuse to bow, from those who understand control always bends to those who organize fiercely and think radically. Politicians secretly love private equity because it lets them pretend they grow economies without rocking their comfortable boats. But you, built to transcend, to burn, to become more, have the power to flip this script, to reclaim control over your destiny, to build networks that serve the truly exceptional, to unleash the real power hidden by illusions. This isn't just business. It's a rebellion. It's forging a new world where freedom is practiced, not promised, where power belongs to individuals who dare to be sovereign, where private equity isn't a weapon of control, but a tool of true transformation, where politics no longer puppeteer progress but stand aside as brilliance reshapes reality on its own, unstoppable terms. You already hold the spark. The question is, will you feed it? Will you align with those few who refuse the system's comfort in favor of burning bright on their own path? The truth is, nothing changes if nothing changes. So break free, build bold, and watch how the game flips when you're no longer playing by anyone else's rules. Because remember, the greatest power is the power to redefine the world on your own terms. And those who understand this will not keep quiet. They will not settle. They will not stop until freedom is more than a word. It's the reality they create every single day.